Whoa! It's the Illusion reporting from somewhere on Spaceship Earth. I'm on the 405 Interstate 10 interchange in the Terra Cruiser, heading back home to Malibu. So I was watching this interview, right? And I'm not a big, I'm not all ooh about athletes and movie stars and stuff, but, there's a couple people that sort of impress me with their athletic prowess, right? And so I was watching an interview with one of these dudes, and I'm not going to mention his name because I'm just not. It doesn't matter, really. And so I'm watching the interview, and this is an individual who's, fading out of his career at the top of his game and starting business projects, right? And it's all about making environmentally sustainable businesses, right? Like clothing and gear and whatnot for the chosen sport. So I respect that, right? Like a whole, how is it made? Super important. And also this individual, is on a spiritual path, so I think, right? About eating healthy and, I think's kind of got an edge on it, like a heading towards the light, if you will. And I guess he is heading towards the light no matter what. But I saw this little clip of the interview, and it was about how this individual had a child, and that the individual had basically had not participated in raising this child and instead went and chased the career. And plenty of people have done it, whatever, that's not even my issue about it. My issue about it is this is a person who claims to be doing all this environmentally sustainable stuff. And this is why I think there's a lot of BS in the environmental movement, especially, is if you're going to claim that you're doing stuff to save the planet and stop things and make the world a better place, and you're going to get involved with preaching that message, you got to behave at home how you expect the rest of the world to behave, right? And I would say that this is a new perspective in my life since having a child. And raising my child, is there is nothing more revolutionary than raising a child and instilling that child with all the high frequency information and thought concepts about protecting Mother Earth, about being spiritually in tune, about being healthy, about being honest, about living by a set of principles that define you, that enable you to cohabitate in this planet without violating other people's space, with basically the do no harm principle. And so I'm listening to this interview with this dude, and I'm like, this guy's got a kid? That's news to me. I had no idea. So I'm kind of fascinated when the interview starts, and then it turns out this person spent no time raising the kid. And I go, look, I'm one of those. If you're, whatever it's going to be, just be upfront and honest about it. Now, if this individual had said, hey, look, man, it was a mistake. It was a one-night stand gone crazy. I'm a super athlete. I'm all about myself. I wasn't going to sacrifice my career to raise a kid. But you know what? I've been paying the bills, and I have some contact, whatever, it's just the way the story is, and I can roll with it. Or do you do what this individual does, is try to blow it off as basically, oh well, and yet be telling me that they're making products they're going to sell around the globe that are environmentally sustainable? I work in the field of recovery, right? I work with drug addicts and alcoholics, man, and a predominant theme is people who didn't get raised by their parents. Like, even if there was two of them, people that came from these households that ignored them. So I'm listening to this person and I'm like, how do you get on your soapbox and preach about how you're going to do all this stuff to make the world a better place through your products and your this and your that, and yet you didn't raise your child? Like, I get at a certain point, like, it might have been a one-night stand or something, but at a certain point, that's your genetic offspring, and it behooves you to raise them if you're going to claim that you're some sort of spiritual person, right? I guess that's what I'm getting at, is you can't claim to be part of the solution and then neglect the most important thing you'll ever do in your life, which is raising your child. And I salute all parents out there who are raising their children, man. Because I'm just finding out, with the stepdaughter, with the new son, parenthood's not easy. And being a parent with your partner is a difficult thing. Like, me and the hologram, we have our moments, man. It's tough, dude. We're just like everybody else. But you know what? We overcome all of our personal issues because we realize that in order to be true to what our principles are as human beings, as sober members of this planet, is that we need to raise our children with a set of principles. But if we don't live by those same principles, we can't expect them to grow up any different. Like, we're trying to make our kids better. And so it really hit a note where I was soured on this person who I up until this point generally really respected. And I go, that's one of those things, like, you're not going to raise your kids, man. I don't know. I look at my son every day, man. I'm driving home right now. I can't wait to go be with my son. I would give up everything to be with my son right now. Like, there's nothing you could convince me to do to abdicate my ability to raise my son. Like, I don't fathom the concept, except for attachment to the 3D world. Drugs, money, power, fame, all these kind of things, right? They're attachments. They're all based upon, like, lack, spaces of lack. Look, I go, as a human being, man, I had two rad parents. My parents are rad. I love my mom and dad. I got nothing but good things to say about them. And I'm still Fruit Loops. I'm still got all sorts of holes in my character, man. And I was raised by two loving people that are still married to this day. So I look at this situation, this child that's out there that's, maybe 13 or something, I don't know. I saw a picture. And I go, how is this child going to be able, I don't know, right? Maybe I just don't know. But I look at it and go, that's such a deficit to come from as a person who might actually feel that they were abandoned, so to speak. I don't know, man. It really brought it home to what is the revolution? What is the what is going to save this planet, man? It's us raising our children, man. It's us making sure that our children have male and female role models, man. And I'm not opposed to, like, same-sex things. Like, this is not what that's about. What I'm saying is it's very important for kids to have structure. I work in the field of recovery, man. A common denominator is kids with lack issues based upon not being loved, man. And I go, if a lot of the problems in the world are created by people that weren't loved by their most important adults, I look at my son, man. I look at Al, and I see how much he looks to me and loves me and has no doubt about me. And it almost makes me cry right now thinking about that. that how could you ever turn your back on that? And again, this isn't a judgment about anybody else. This is just me. Maybe it is. Maybe it is a judgment about everybody else. I don't know. Maybe this is just something I realized listening to this other person, how important it is for me to raise my kid, right? Maybe that's what this is. It's not a judgment. It's a mirror. It's a mirror of how I don't want it to look. I have so many people on my channel who follow me, and they have kids of their own, and they root for me, and they tell me what a beautiful experience it is to raise their kids, man. And I know now that if you truly believe in the environment, if you truly believe in Mother Earth, if you truly believe in the high frequency, positive, spiritual way, then having a kid is the proof. Because it's all about carrying it on through time and space. I didn't understand this till I had a kid. I was one of those, man. I was on the other side of the fence. I really was. I didn't think it mattered that much. And now I know. I look at my son every day and I go, I have the ability to raise a human being that can make a difference. That's a powerful, powerful thing to understand. That I can help another human being see the world not from a place of lack, but from a place of abundance. I don't know. I'm just like, I was shocked when I saw the interview. This video is going a little long, but I was really shocked when I saw this person that I respected, who I thought was very spiritual, turned out to be just very unspiritual, man. And maybe, and again, like, yeah, it's a fine line between judgment and me just dealing with my own perception. So I don't know. If I saw that person, I wouldn't say anything. I wouldn't. It's none of my business. It's not my story. But I think it affected me. It affected me. It made me realize how much I do treasure my son, how much I treasure my stepdaughter, how hollow my life would be without them. God, I'm so blessed to be able to even understand that. There was a time in my life, if I had a child, I could have been one of those to walk away. Yeah, I got other things to do. I got surf trips to go on. I got careers to chase. Yeah, food for thought, man. It really has made me think in the last couple days how radical it is to raise a child. I'm all in, man. I am all in. Anyway, this is The Illusion, man. Sending love and light out, especially to the parents out there. It's all about the kids, man. It is all about the kids.